No, 2009 went really well. I mean, just started with the Nitro Circus and finally got that onto MTV, which was basically just gave us a huge budget to have fun, travel the world with all our friends. Tried to race Supercross. That was a horrible idea, but I just, you always have that racing kind of that gene, and I love motocross. It's my favorite. Won the fourth consecutive time for the Rally America Championship, which was basically the North American Rally Championship, and that's really was a good year except for X Games. The 20-foot atomic butt drop kind of sucks. Pretty much ever since the double backflip, but even before the double backflip, because on a trampoline it's so much easier to do a backflip with the spin than it is to do two flips. I've been working on that a lot. Got it dialed with the bicycle and everything, and pit bikes, and the last 6 months before X Games, I really put a lot of effort into it, and actually called up Rob with RG3 last year and said, look, I'm getting too much suspension. It has too much of an effect on how the pop comes off the lip on this trick. I'm going to need suspension that's shorter, that's really stiff and about 6 inches as opposed to the normal 12 inches of travel. And that was really how we started getting that trick to the next level. Hired some Olympic trainers, some gymnastics and aerialist trainers. Came out and about a month before the event said, okay, I got the trick good enough, I'll have it dialed before X Games. And I went and did 2 more episodes of MTV filming and wasn't able to practice at all. And the day before I tried one more jump into the foam pit and I lost my trick. So it's kind of one of those deals where I knew I could do it, I knew I had done it in the past. I usually do better under pressure, but the day before I literally landed 1 out of maybe 40 tries in the foam pit. And that's a horrible feeling to come out of ramp when you're like, I don't think I got it, but I told everyone I was going to do it. And that's out of anything that my dad taught me, it was, if you ever say you're going to do something, if you ever, don't open your mouth, don't talk crap, but if you ever do, back it up. And I dropped in and said, look, I'll give it my best go. And I was disappointed it didn't work, but I'll get it. The double backflip, I felt a lot more confident that I was going to land it. I actually worked on it for 2 years, had it really dialed in the foam pit for probably about a year before X Games. This trick, the first time I got it around the foam pit was 3 weeks before X Games, which is not a lot of time. The trick can kind of come and go. If anyone's in gymnastics or anytime you learn something, sometimes you change something slightly and the whole trick kind of goes haywire. So the double backflip, the problem was when you do a rotation, it's straight. You don't know where you are, you're blind, and you come around straight to pretty much a broken neck if you come up short. You really won't know about it. This trick, you had a lot more visual of the ground. It's more of a 720. So I figured there's a higher chance of concussion, but less chance of breaking my neck, so I really wasn't quite as worried. Nitro Circus started out because I had pretty much the first foam pit, especially definitely the first motorcycle foam pit on the East Coast. So all the top racers and riders would come over and just huck themselves into it, and they crashed a lot. So it was more of a crash video and just kind of a fun thing around the back of the house. And it got a kind of a cult following. It started getting more and more popular, and MTV approached us and said, look, we'd like to run this, because we had it on Fuel for a little bit, and they said, look, we'd like to run it on MTV. We're trying to get a more male demographic, and we think you guys would be perfect. So it actually worked out really well. It's kind of an odd network for us, being how it's 85% female viewers, and we have like a 90% male viewership of Nitro Circus. So, I don't know, we gotta get more girls watching. It's ridiculous. Well, what's really neat is with motocross or whatnot, you kind of walk in and out of your fantasy world, but if you go to a restaurant, there'll be your standard issue, you guys with your Fox hat or your DC hats or whatever, and they're skaters, and be like, hey, how you doing? You're Travis. Yeah, sweet. Now I can actually walk in and the hostesses will be like, hey, you're that guy. I'm like, yes, right on, score for me. No, but it's been really fun just to kind of travel around, and now going through airports and stuff, and you got to watch a lot more of what you do to make sure that you don't never do anything too bad, because no matter where you are, no matter what country you're in, people seem to know who you are, and it's been fun. Rally's actually been really good for me. I've driven cars since I was, go-karts since I was 2, and I rolled my first car at 10. Just really my whole life has been driving and riding everything, sliding stuff. My dad had a construction company, so it was really a good fit. And coming from motocross, I just had a good feeling of dirt and where the traction is, and won the last four championships of the Rally America. And it's been just a great transition. They say with age get a cage. Every time I was hurt, I was in a car, and I was hurt a lot. It was kind of a bad week. I crashed my mom's car. I ran over the mailbox right after I turned 10, and I think it's either 10 or 11 when I rolled my uncle's Jeep for the first time. He wasn't too impressed. So, I mean, I rolled my first go-kart at pretty much like 2 or 3. So, I don't know. I've had a history of crashing things, I think, but all in all, I think it really helps to, kind of get you, I don't know, just more experience in driving stuff. And as with anything, practice might not be perfect, but makes a lot better. What's really cool about freestyle motocross right now is it's kind of evolving in 2 different directions. There's a lot of guys doing the body varials. Generally, the people with the smaller build and more kind of air awareness of themselves have been able to do all kinds of body varials and all kinds of different stuff that way. But the flips now have taken a new level because everyone's starting to do spins. And now with the toilet paper 7, to combine a flip and a spin, really there are no limits to the sport. It's just a matter of just learning it. And I think the first gymnastics background person that can ride a motorcycle is going to absolutely crush it. The next step for freestyle though is definitely going to be the track design. Trying to get more like the BMX park style. The suspension that RG3 made up for me that had about 6 inches of travel. You got to be a lot more precise, but kind of go into the BMX style. I can hit a half pipe and really flow around a bicycle skate park with that kind of suspension. So I think that might be somewhere it goes in the future. Something new that, like with the toilet paper 7, said, look, I need a totally different format. I need to be able to pop off the lip and not get all the sag and the standard issue like moto suspension. So it's just been really good to have someone that can work with me and that doesn't just say that's impossible. It says, okay, how do we make this possible and where can we go from there? So as far as I'm concerned, there's no one better in making whatever you want to do possible on a motorcycle, and the RG3 is a perfect fit for me. No, Nitro Circus is basically all of us just kind of sitting around coming up with fun ideas. I mean, okay, a lot of the stuff is just stupid, and when we can't think of anything new, the jackass guys take over and they taser us and they mace us and just hurt us for no apparent reason. But the whole principle of Nitro Circus is let's do stuff that's never been done. Let's think outside the box. Let's have a lot of fun, and if we do it right, we shouldn't get hurt. I'm not saying we don't get hurt, because we get hurt a lot more than probably any other TV show out there, or any other sport or anything. It's like, basically you're just hucking yourself and yeah, it feels about right. There's not a lot of science that goes into most of the stuff we do, but it's a blast. And to be perfectly honest, everybody comes up with their equal share of what to do, and I really like working with stuff that is low skill, high fun, high risk. Our motto is high risk, low pay, underprepared and over enthusiastic. It gets you a long way in life. Racing's in my blood. It's what I am truly passionate about, and the cars have been a lot of fun, but it's not the one-on-one that I truly like about the motocross and supercross. And to be perfectly honest, I'd love to be back out there. It's just a matter of really injured. I mean, I have no ACL or PCL on my right knee, no ACL on my left knee. Shoulders fall out real easy, and I really can't train hard enough to be in the condition that I want to be competitive. Everyone's like, just go try to qualify, but for me, like, being just qualifying or a best case scenario for me now with as fast as these guys are going would be a top 10. Like if I got 10th, I'd be ecstatic, but at the same time it's still 10th. When you're used to going out and trying to win, it's kind of depressing now. So I still ride with all the top guys. I ride with Reed, ride with Millsaps, Wyndham, pretty much all the time, and I love that. It's a lot of fun. And when I start falling behind, I just cut the track and I jump right in behind them again. It's a blast. But the racing is kind of where my heart is, but I don't really have a lot of fun riding around 10th, I guess is what I'm trying to say. So I may or may not be back. It usually ends up very depressing for me. Going the wrong way with all this. Let me try that over.